Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you on a Monday morning. Mel is in studio.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Hyundai of Yuma sponsors, advertisers on this show. Get over there and take a test drive on 32nd Street, that veteran-owned business. They're waiting for you. They'll be patient. Go over there and take a test drive. And yeah, they do have cars on the lot. I know the chip manufacturing thing is, been weird. Just holding up car manufacturers, but they're there. Go. I want you to test drive that truck, the new truck, and then tell me what you think. I know they got a couple of them out there. Not a lot of them, but as they get them in, I think they've been selling them. I've seen a few on the roads. But whether it's an Accent or all the way up to the Palisade, to the SUV, or even a Genesis or the Kia right around the corner on Pacific Avenue, that's all part of the Hyundai family. America's best warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles, 10 years, 100,000 miles. Go support the ones that support us. It's one of those local businesses that support us. And speaking of support, Mel, I was at the Civic Center this weekend when they had the, the businesses. And I was at a discussion with Edward, Edward, my friend over in D.C., who was talking about the lack of 9/11 celebration in the D.C. area, in the Pentagon area and stuff, and even where they wouldn't let you display an American flag without a permit.
Really?
Yeah, and some of these businesses will put a big flag up and all that stuff. So I think he put his up anyway. But the, talked about just the lack of recognition. I said, well, I'll bet you, and I didn't know this, but I said, I bet you just it being Yuma, there's no way we're going to have an event like this and not have a recognition. And sure enough, we had, some firemen, some policemen, color guard from Young Marines, it looked like, and different organizations. There must have been about 3 or 4 different color guards there. And to give a presentation, 10, 20 minutes and a prayer in remembrance of 20th anniversary of 9/11. Not a surprise. Mm-hmm. And to him it is, it's just not his world.
Yeah. Because
in the very liberal bastion area he lives in, they are so supportive of the Democratic narrative. They don't want to show anything positive right now. Positive of a bunch of American flags out waving.
Yeah, people
in honor.
Showing patriotism.
Patriotism is not a Democratic virtue. For some reason, doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Used to be something you was uniting, and anymore it's not. But it was not a full. Normally, when they've done that in years past, the amount of vendors that want to participate will fill the place out and sell it out. There were still a few slots open. It was pretty well. It was pretty well done. It still had a lot of great vendors out there, but it wasn't like it was in years past where there was not any space for another vendor. Everything was not taken. There was a few.
Yeah.
But I think that's because of some of the COVID. But you didn't see a lot of masks. No. I had a face tattoo. Not a face tattoo, a face painting, because it washed off, Mel, of the COVID virus. And I went over. I was there early, and I went to the lady who had the face painting booth set up, and I said, well, I need face painted. And I said, I would like a picture of the virus. And she didn't think I was serious. I'm like, no, I'm really serious. And there was a few people stood around that knew me. Says, "Oh, if Russ is serious." So I had to look it up on my phone and show a picture of it to what it looked like, and she did a wonderful job. So I walked around all day with the COVID virus on my cheek instead of a unicorn. Most of the kids are getting unicorns. Yeah. Unicorns are big. My granddaughter got a unicorn. She wouldn't go with the COVID.
Good for her.
Yeah, it is. At least there's some sense and sensibility.
Some sense of family, yeah.
Yeah, we got that part of that. But,
2 generations away, but what the hell?
But part of the reason I was there was to meet with some of the new contestants for the Miss Yuma County pageant. And I was very pleased. Not all of them showed up. Maybe some of them probably couldn't, whatever schedules there were. Very pleased to do this again. It's been a couple of years with the COVID. We haven't had this. Mm-hmm. Where you get these young people, and I'm talking, I think 14 to 25 was the spread the ladies I was working with to start discussing communications and having them talk to people they never met, talk to vendors when they have no idea what they're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But we discussed that ahead of time, and it was just a great exercise. I love doing it just to see the brightness turn on in some of these young minds.
Yeah.
That just start opening up, and really had a couple standouts that came in very nervous, but for one young lady from Yuma Catholic, a beautiful young lady, teenager. And but still had reservations about and nervousness about, which is normal. That just means she's normal.
Yeah, wow.
And by the time we left, she was a networker.
Yeah. Well, good.
She had a purpose then, and never thought it was possible. Most people don't. They don't know where to start or what to say. They try to say something that makes them sound intelligent, something they wouldn't be themselves.
Yeah. Right.
Instead of just being themselves,
Yeah.
which is plenty good enough. I mean, that's great when you're yourself.
Yeah.
And talking them into that was, and then finding out more about the other person was just a lot of fun. But if any young ladies out there that are still thinking about becoming Miss Yuma County, Miss Yuma County Teen, or Outstanding Teen, what do they call the teenagers? Two groups. But look, it's a wonderful organization to just get some life experiences, stage presence and communications training and all that kind of stuff. It comes along with it. It's not just throw you on the stage and see how you do. There's opportunities to discuss communications mostly and presence and a lot of people to work with you. And then there's scholarship money. It's a scholarship pageant to be able to do that. But there's still slots available. I can't remember if they have more teens. I think they have more teens signed up than the older, and I like 18 and above, I think, is the Miss Yuma County. There's 3 or 4 of those, and but there's a lot of scholarship money available. So, be easy on your parents.
Yeah.
Get out there and get some scholarship money.
There's a lot of that scholarship money from other organizations that goes unclaimed every year.
Yeah, this one they go out and I'm working with some of the girls now. I've been working with for 3 or 4 years. And they're excelling, Mel. They're getting job offers. They're still in school. They're still doing things they didn't know they would be doing, really growing. Gabby being one of them. She's now moving to Phoenix because of job opportunities in Phoenix and still continuing her education and everything from the Phoenix area and all that. So very nice to see.
Good to see him moving up.
Oh, gosh, yeah, because – I need people to take care of me as I get older.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody's
got to keep Social Security afloat, right?
Yeah. We want to make sure they're working. They're paying into taxes.
Just one thing, if you're at all interested in possibly getting a scholarship, your school guidance counselors should have all of that information for you. Go and ask them. They can go digging up. There are scholarships that go unclaimed every year.
There's more available
by the thousands.
More available than Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, it's George Braun. We're going to be on the air with Kay Smith at 7:05.
Yeah, you're early, man.
Well, no, I just wanted to say, because, remember how much fun Carol and Kay were before?
Yeah.
And and tomorrow is the recall election in California. And even though I haven't voted in California since 2011, I got my ballot. And I hate to bring this up. There's never been a time in my life I wanted to break the law and send in a ballot
George,
that I can't.
Break the law? I think you should go for it. Go for it.
I really wanted to do that. Anyway, one of my greatest friends, Pat Clark Pest Control, passed away on Monday of last week. And I went to his celebration of life in Bakersfield, California. My Uncle Mike, the Monsignor, did the ceremony. And it was just one of the most incredible, fun things in the entire world where you go through. By the way, anybody who knew Dave Hostler, on the 18th, they're going to have a year later, because of the fact that he passed away a year ago. they're going to have a thing this weekend. But one of the things is that when you look up and everything else, how fast time flies.
Only because we're old, George. That's all.
Understand?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Do you guys understand? 9/11 was 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and I remember that day like there was no tomorrow.
Oh,
But we actually, do you understand how we should be hanging on to every single day?
I can't do it, George.
No.
They're going to go out. They're going to fly.
There are certain days like that though that you're forever etched in your memory.
I hate to bring this up, but the biggest thing in the entire world is, Edison and Madison call me and they tell me about their day, and you have the terrorist.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing in the entire world is how fast and how lucky we are to have every single day. And the reason why Rush Limbaugh had the greatest show in the entire world is because of the fact that every morning he got up and was lucky to be on the radio. And so one of the things that I love about your show, and the reason why I bring you every single person I can get on the show, and we will talk about this at in 45 minutes. But the thing is that we are blessed by God to be able to do what we do every single day, and my God, we are lucky to have our friends and our family and everything else.
Yep.
And do you remember Rush Limbaugh ever saying one negative word? Because of the fact that we didn't know he was going to die.
Well, no, he did talk negatively about the Democrats at times, George. I got to tell you.
Oh no, but that's simple.
Yeah, yeah, but no, he was living his dream of being on the radio without question, and it showed.
Well, I hate to bring this up, but it's really kind of fun when you can have. I mean, when Cody Beeson and I first started doing this, people actually said at the country club to my mom that we were making up, that there's no way that Donald Rumsfeld or John Kyle or
Boehner, you had
Coburn,
a lot of them,
Senator Coburn or Congresswoman Blackburn were actually coming on. They thought we were making it up.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
But I hate to bring this up, but now we had over 1.5 million people listen to us online last week.
Get out of here. Really? Yeah. What do you think? I know you thought of it, the 9/11 thing I did Friday, which was it was wonderful. And thanks to Edward for helping me line up like Andrew Card and all.
Edward, that's why I didn't participate, because of the fact that I had to listen. Okay,
what a great day!
In the entire world is that people don't understand. The best thing you can ever do is listen.
Oh,
but for God's sakes, the Colonel and had Edward not fought over a check.
Oh,
he would be dead.
Well, they would fight over who gets to pay, right? I mean, they want to pay.
No, they were fighting over who got to pay for the check, and that's why he wasn't in.
They were late. Yeah,
the building.
Late for the building.
But he lost. I had a friend of mine was the lawyer, one of the divorce lawyers, and his guy actually looked up, and it was really, really funny because of the fact that he woke up. He was with his girlfriend, and it was 11 o'clock in the morning, and he looks at his phone, and it's full of calls from his wife.
Wait. Well, that's nice. Calls from your wife when you wake up with your girlfriend? George.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, the thing is that you don't listen to the call. And she goes, "Where are you?" and he was at Fitzgerald, that big thing. She goes, I'm at the office. She goes, turn on that TV, you son of a gun.
Yeah, I bet that's what it was.
And he realized that he had gone to work instead of gone and cheated on her, he would have been dead. And he called her back and said, take whatever you want.
I guess. I guess it worked for him then. All right, George, I got to go. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you top of the hour. All right, buddy. Bye. That's George. Guy cheating on his wife, so he was late for work and he lived now. You know, I don't know if I could condone adultery, though, Mel.
No.
I'm not going to condone it.
No.
Edward sent me a text and said there's a lot of scams from groups stating they can get you a scholarship for a fee. He said no scholarship is permitted to charge a fee. So it's a scam if it is.
Right.
He said make sure we get that out there. So, yeah, thank you. I'm glad we did. You know, speaking of the kids, talking to the kids, I'll tell you, I was with my 4-year-old grandchild this weekend, of course, Caitlin, the terrorist. But she has a phone now, Mel. Now, the phone is not hooked up to any of the phone companies. It's just a phone, an old one that my daughter had, but she can still get on the internet and get on Facebook and send me a message.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she doesn't type the message; she records it. So I got like 4 or 5 little 3-second recordings, like "Hi, Grandpa," "Love you, Grandpa," stuff like that. So, being technology advanced like I am, I was able to figure out how to voice record her back. And I said something along the lines of, I love you too, baby girl. You poopy head, face, chicken neck or whatever, or poopy face, chicken head. And I hung up, and apparently she made my daughter listen to that like 100 times, just laughing. Grandpa called me. So yeah, she's already involved in the messaging thing now, at 4, not through the phone, just any place there's Wi-Fi. Apparently, she can get on that Facebook and send me a message. So I've probably gotten 15 of them in one day. Just hello, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Type stuff. And now she's calling me poopy face. Can you believe that? The lack of respect.
Yes, I can.
I can't believe that.
Good for her.
I am just shocked that the disrespect from this young girl. But that I guess I'll have to endure it. I started it.
Yes, you did.
Shame
on you.
We'll be back. AM 560 KBLU.
Hopefully you're not outside much in this kind of heat, but if you do, make sure you're getting water breaks and getting inside or someplace shady and cool at least periodically. 111 the high today, 109 tomorrow. To detect fever, COVID-19's leading symptom, it's critical to take an accurate temperature reading with the Exergen temporal scanner. It's the only thermometer whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith from the Weather Channel.
At Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management, they believe they manage money for their clients differently from many other advisors in Yuma. Their way works in close alignment with their clients' goals. Yuma Investment Group is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor. When it comes to helping clients pursue a comfortable retirement, they're clearly different. Visit yumainvestmentgroup.com and find out why investors switch to them. Investment advisory services offered through CWM LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Time for some smart saving. Make their dreams their reality.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. Whatever your little one dreams of becoming, a doctor, a chef, a firefighter, they're going to need a plan and savings. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan and you will be able to pay for their future education. Visit az529.gov and start saving to make their dream job come true.
Now that's smart saving.
Be sure to listen Sunday afternoon from noon to 2 for the radio show that talks about all things real estate with award-winning broadcaster Stephen Gasquet. It's everything you need to know about your home, from buying and selling. Brought to you by PhD. When your home needs a professional home doctor, call PhD 344-911-1.
Hey, are you Flightline Mitsubishi? Yes, sir, we are. I hear if I test drive a new Mitsubishi, I'll want it. That's correct, sir. Okay, here goes. Ah, what are you doing? Testify new Mitsubishi with this driver. No.
Test drive a new Mitsubishi. Not like that. Get behind the wheel of a new Mitsubishi at Flightline Mitsubishi today, and we're pretty sure you'll fall in love and be driving away in that new Mitsubishi very soon. Come visit them at 1350 East 32nd Street, Yuma, or online at flightlinemitsubishi.com. Flightline Mitsubishi. Drive your ambition.
In today's Farm and Ranch headlines from AgNet West. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has issued a proposed rule in the Federal Register to amend the list of approved materials for organic production. More after this.
You're going to need me.
You're going to need us.
All of us.
You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. Support us at 4h.org.
AgNet West Radio Network, your trusted agriculture news provider for the state of Arizona. Stay up to date with accurate local and national agriculture news on this station or by visiting us online at agnetwest.com. Get even more connected by following us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by searching at AgNet West, and our team of Brian German at Brian German AgNet West and Danielle Leal with at D Leal AgNet West.
Based on recommendations submitted at the conclusion of the National Organic Standards Board Sunset Review process, the USDA is proposing to amend the national list by removing multiple synthetic substances that are currently allowed in organic crop and livestock production. The proposal includes the removal of vitamin B1 for crop production, oxytocin and procaine for livestock production, and sucrose octanoate esters for both crop and livestock production. USDA is also proposing to amend the national list by removing several non-organic ingredients currently allowed in organic handling. Some of the ingredients proposed for removal include sweet potato starch, Turkish bay leaves, kelp, whey protein concentrate, alginic acid, and several types of colors such as blueberry juice color and turmeric extract color. USDA has said it will receive comments on the proposed amendments and the expected timeframe needed for organic operations to implement the proposed changes. The comment period will close on Monday, October 25th. I'm Brian German for AgNet West Radio Network.
Are you struggling to find quality employees? Tired of placing the same old Sunday classifieds or getting lost in the online job boards and getting the same results? Then you need to call us today at 344-4980 and put radio to work for you. It's fast. Place an ad today and have it on air tomorrow. Whether you're looking for hourly workers or to fill highly specified job descriptions, placing an ad on radio will help you fill these positions quickly. Call 344-4980 today and put radio recruitment to work for you.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. Mel's in studio.
Yes, sir.
I got a op-ed sent to me by Phil Townsend from Andrew Gold.
Oh, yeah, Andy.
And I haven't talked about Andy in a little bit, but he is running for Attorney General.
Yes.
Which he's got my support.
In a minute.
Right now.
Yes. As soon as I heard that, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, what a wonderful candidate, and wonderful man.
Good man, yeah.
Yeah, I really like him.
Wicked sense of humor, by the way.
No doubt.
Yeah,
and I've had him in studio a number of times, and I try and mess with him a little bit. No, he just encouraged me to keep doing that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
He'll come back in a second.
Oh, yeah, I think he'll hurt me.
Yeah.
Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Russ and Mel.
Good morning. How are you, Gilbert?
I'm going to segue right into your little thing about Andrew Gould.
Yeah.
The Colorado River Tea Party's meeting this week will have Mr. Andrew Gould speaking to us.
Seriously?
Really?
This Thursday?
Seriously.
That's a great day.
Thursday.
Wow.
Community Christian Church, 6 p.m.
I'm going to have to mark that one down, make sure I
I suggest everyone go to that
one.
one.
Andy since he got moved up to Phoenix. So.
Yeah, and I was just shocked when he withdrew. I mean, when he resigned.
Yeah.
Like he was in the high court for state of Arizona.
He was at Supreme Court, yeah.
And I thought, well, what? That's like to retirement type stuff or whatever. No, he had other aspirations too. He wanted to do this too.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Boy,
that's courage.
Sometimes you wonder why you jump from a safe frying pan into the fire.
Well, he was in a wonderful position, but he wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
wasn't afraid to leave it for this one, which maybe he felt like it could be more effective.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
Yeah,
that's what I understand.
Well, and
he's out there.
I haven't spoken with him since he's done any of this, so be nice to talk to him.
Well, why don't you give him an invitation to come on your show early Thursday morning?
I think we will. I think we need to. Yeah, we need to pump him up.
Either that or talk to him Thursday afternoon to have come in Friday.
Yeah, one way or the other.
Either way.
Don't know when he's going to be in town.
Well, he you know what? You're probably better because I understand he'll be speaking at Lutz Casino Friday.
Okay. Yeah, maybe Friday morning.
Friday afternoon, from what I understand.
That'll be good.
The GOP is bringing him in Friday morning to Lutz, or excuse me, afternoon. Anyway, he'll be here Friday. I don't have the exact time.
Yeah,
but
he'll be in town somewhere.
Well, you know what?
We're invited.
Phil's probably listening in. Phil, if he is, see if you can line him up for us for Friday morning.
Yeah, we'd like to support him.
You bet.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
yep,
appreciate it, buddy.
Anyway, I got a strange visitor this morning. You know, Russ, I feed my birds every morning. And I have hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And I guess a hawk decided to show up and start taking my little baby dove.
Well, they're part of the food chain too, you know.
Yeah, I do know.
Circle of life, man.
So is my gun, but it's a shoot them.
Can't eat your little dove.
No, I don't shoot no bird.
Yeah.
I'm talking about shooting my hawk.
I believe those hawks are perfected. You better watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just joking, law enforcement. I'm joking.
I was going to send.
But anyway, you have a blessed day, and remember Andrew Gould at Colorado River Tea Party this Thursday, 6 p.m. Community Christian Church out at Highway 95.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
On this wrong one. On this op-ed, Andrew Gould's op-ed, he says, our country is based on the rule of law, from the rights and liberties protected by our Constitution to the statutes enacted by federal and state governments. We are a nation of laws. Unfortunately, the Biden administration has abandoned this principle.
Yes, they have.
That's the start of it.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, you got my vote twice now. I'm going to vote twice.
That's right.
You know, we got to find a way to support that kind of attitude.
Yes.
Unlike this wokeness that wants to,
it seems to permeate the country nowadays.
Well,
and it's just and all it does is it's destroying the fabric, the very fabric of this
and
country.
I think that's intentional.
Oh yes, I believe so.
And that's about only support the laws we like, and selective prosecutions will change things through the legal system instead of through the legislature, because those legislatures don't always listen to what we want.
No.
So that's just danger on top of danger. We start becoming
first of all, a lot of what's passed isn't done by the legislature anyway. It's done by these bureaucrats.
Well,
bureaucratic entities, and
we do it through regulation instead of
by law.
By law, and that's unfortunate. And that needs to change.
And the regulation becomes law, which is wrong.
If I remember right, that's how they're going to be doing this vaccine mandate by Biden.
Yes, probably. Yeah.
That I don't remember who it's going to go through. I mean, I'd have to talk to my professionals, but it's going to become more of a regulatory thing instead of a executive order, because he doesn't have the power to do executive order.
Right.
He's got power to pick up a phone and says, "You work for me, do it."
Yes.
I think that's just wrong. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Mike.
Hey, Mr. Trucker, how are you?
Salinas, San Jose, California.
Hey, I like Salinas.
You know, it's actually mild in traffic. You wouldn't think so.
This time of year, I think if the farming's winding down there, yeah. Getting ready to move to Yuma.
You can get in and out at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's probably only one of the few locations in California that you can.
I used to fly Salinas every week because I had an apartment there and businesses, so I'd fly back and forth.
Right.
Wonderful times.
Was on to him about an hour and a half over the weekend. Of course, you can imagine what the subject was.
Wait a minute, you kind of broke in. I didn't hear who was on. Who was on?
Say that again?
No, you broke up, so I didn't hear exactly who you said was on.
Rudy Giuliani
was
on the news.
Yeah.
I listened to him about an hour and a half. He Nicholson asked him a question a couple months ago. He said, would you run for New York mayor again to kind of clean the place up? And his answer was, they voted all this in. They did it to themselves.
Yeah.
That was his answer.
Yeah. I think they like living in that crap, so they're not going.
Yeah, he was dedicated to him. And basically, you know what? You did it to yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not helping you. Yeah. I'm not throwing you the rope.
Yeah.
He's going to run for governor, though, Andrew Giuliani.
Oh. Is that his son or something?
He's already announced that he announced a couple months ago.
Okay.
He's going to run for New.
Mike, you keep cutting out. You got a bad cell area, man.
We'll make it another day. Then.
All right, buddy. Take care. Yeah, it's
yeah.
I heard every other word there for a few
for a while.
For a few of them or whatever. Hey, before I don't have to take a break anyway. I got time, but just a short article that just caught my attention. A former U.S. Army Special Forces, which, you got to appreciate those guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Special Forces, that is elite of elite. Those are the guys that don't quit.
All right.
That find a way.
Top of the line.
Yeah, and out of all the ones that apply and work to become Special Forces, many of them just don't make it.
That's
no,
right.
Not everyone gets a trophy.
That's right. That's right.
You have to put up with the unimaginable, I would think, from what I've seen. I've never been through it personally. But from what I've seen, you have to put up with the unimaginable to make that happen. So very few get this through, and this is Elena McLaughlin, openly transgender woman now, from Special Forces to transgender woman, which I would think that's a rarity. I mean, Mel, that's somebody with determination and willing to go through whatever, but I don't think they all want to go through that. No. I'm going to prove how tough I am.
No.
I'm going to transgender.
No, thank you.
Whatever. Well, this Elena McLaughlin not only became now a transgender woman from Army Special Forces, now an MMA fighter and fights women. Now, Mel, is that fair?
No. No, I feel I feel about the way the athletic community is accepting that is totally wrong.
Well, McLaughlin won another bout here, by a chokehold on a woman that was born a woman. Mm-hmm. But in Florida, the Florida State Boxing Commission, tested the hormones before and said, well, your hormones are in line. I guess they take enough injections of hormones that you're as close to woman as some of them, I guess. I don't know. But then now, if you have a daughter that's competing, if you want your daughter to compete against somebody that used to be a man, they're built different.
Yes, they are. There are some things you can't change. I don't care how many hormones you pump into them.
But now this is about, and McLaughlin was in Special Forces until 2010. Being a man didn't suit him, and then just decided to become a female fighter choking out the opponents. That's something.
It was a thing.
That's nuts.
It was a thing someone sent to me about, said mediocre men of the world unite, or something like that.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, how mediocre men of the world compete against women. And
Andy Kaufman did that. Remember Andy Kaufman?
Yeah.
He was an actor on TAC and a comedian.
Yeah.
But his claim, his notoriety was he was a female wrestler.
Yeah.
But he only wrestled females as a guy.
Yeah.
Which was a comedy stunt.
Yeah.
Although he was a weird guy. But he would wrestle women.
Yes.
Which everyone found outrageous.
Yes.
Now it's just normal.
Yeah. Part of our society.
Yeah, it's not even funny anymore, Andy.
No.
Yeah. California, Newsom is up for his recall. And some of the early polls and stuff are showing like 65% for Newsom not to be recalled. And chances are he's going to live through this.
He's probably safe, yeah.
He's got the machine working for him. I mean, all of Hollywood, all the money. They've even labeled his black opponent as a white supremacist.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yes. Well, I guess the president's going to be out there this afternoon, right?
I didn't know.
Yeah. There was something on the news about.
I knew he was supporting him.
The president's
Newsom
got a couple of stops on the way out, but this afternoon he's going to be in California supporting Newsom. So,
remember how Governor Greg Abbott at one time was saying, "Don't California, Texas," or something about all the people moving in and all that stuff. Well, now Newsom is saying just the opposite. Don't Texas, California.
Yeah. California needs a little Texaning,
and I guess that works for his base.
Yeah,
because they're afraid of individual rights and they're afraid of small government.
That's right. Yeah, they're of individual responsibility. That's the thing more than anything. I think they're so used to the government doing everything for them that they can't do anything for themselves anymore.
Newsom says. The whole idea that a constitutional right, the right to choice, the right to reproductive freedom, rights of women now are under assault. Well, right to choice is under assault. They call it the vaccine mandate, Newsom.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is under assault. So he's probably right on that account. He just picked the wrong subject. Right. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Sorry, Russ, to call you again, but I had to because yesterday I was minding my own business, watching my TV, just having a good time with my lovely wife, eating some strawberry pie. All of a sudden, the commercial comes on. Boom. Right in the middle. Barack Insane Obama is supporting Newsom.
Yes.
Telling the people, watch out what the Republicans are doing. They're trying to scare tactics. Vote no. Vote no on the recall.
Yeah.
Newsom.
And who's really using the scare tactics, Gilbert? I mean, we've been having the fear porn and galore on this COVID.
Yeah. You would think with this fear prone, you would think, what's his name?
Biden?
No, the porn star that got shot, paralyzed. Flint.
Larry Flint.
Larry Flint. You would think Larry Flint was behind this garbage. But, they're bringing out the big guns, huh?
Yeah. Obama.
And the thing is by Obama doing it, the black voters are going to go with Obama, and that is so sad. I hope there's a lot of intelligent, conservative African Americans out there that know better.
Well, we know that Larry Elder, who is the number one opponent, is the black face of white supremacy, according to a CNN article.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like being called. It's like being called an Oreo.
Yeah.
Republican.
But it just shows it's never about race, Gilbert. It's about an ideology.
Exactly. Like Carter's saying, remember, Obama told the Republicans vote no on the recall on
That's
Newsom.
Right. Now, we can hear her in the background, buddy. I mean, I can tell who's putting words in your mouth. Heck, you're like Joe Biden anymore.
Oh, no.
It looks like Carla's your teleprompter.
He's saying that you're telling me what to say and how to say it.
That's right.
No, I was just reminding him.
Hey, you two go fight it out, man. I got to run. We'll see you. Yeah, good. Box his ears, Carla. We'll be right back. AM 560 KBOU.
At H&R Block, tax time means max refund time. And with virtual tax prep, our experts can help you get your refund from home, staying in your sweatpants. Just snap some pics of your docs and a tax pro does the work. Your maximum refund is guaranteed, or your money back. Virtual tax prep, one of the many ways Block has your back.
All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund.
So when you need a hand with your taxes, H&R Block is here for you. Drop off your taxes today at their offices in Yuma, the Foothills, or San Luis, and let their experienced tax professionals help get your taxes won.
The Arizona Lottery makes being together better. Whether it's adding a smile to your day, another game to play with friends, a reason to celebrate with family, or just reconnecting with someone you haven't seen in a while. The Arizona Lottery has been proud to be a part of your winning moments for the last 40 years. So grab your favorite ticket for a family member, a neighbor, a friend, and let's continue to play together.
Are you looking for a hot car deal this summer? Hyundai of Yuma is on fire with over 100 new cars in stock ready for delivery and hot deals like this brand new 2021 Hyundai Sonata with a $2,000 rebate or 0% for 5 years. Plus veterans and active duty receive an additional $500 rebate. Now that's a hot deal. The best part is that all new Hyundais come with America's best warranty, 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on powertrain. All this plus 3 years of free maintenance. There has never been a better time to buy than right now. Your trade-in has never been worth more money than now. And during this event, all credit applications are being accepted, no matter your credit score, no matter how much you owe on your trade-in. These offers are only good at Hyundai of Yuma, located on 32nd Street in Yuma, Arizona. Visit them in person or 24/7 online at HyundaiofYuma.com or DM us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Hyundai of Yuma, a proud veteran-owned dealership.
Be sure to listen to 560 KBLU every Friday morning from 8 to 9 for Money Talk, bringing you the latest information and changes in the world of finances. Brought to you by the partnerships of Academy Mortgage and Yuma Investment Group Wealth Management.
Millions of Americans are preparing for food shortages. No wonder. With increasing bizarre news headlines, water shortages, and the trucking crisis, we're seeing the early warning signs. Food shortages can happen overnight, catching you completely by surprise. That's why it makes good sense to secure some emergency food kits while you can. Emergency food that stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage, unlike grocery store food that goes bad fast. The company to trust is My Patriot Supply. We've served millions of American families in recent years. Our food kits give you over 2,000 calories a day, which is what your body needs under stress to survive. We ship fast and discreet to your door. You'll have your food within days, too, not weeks or months. Our mission is your survival, and our food could definitely be a lifesaver when the peanut butter hits the fan. So don't wait. It's time to act. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Do you have slips, drips, or footing shifts? Come see my dad, Matt, at Team Ramco Transmission.
We have been a family-owned and operated business for over 25 years. We believe in honesty, professionalism, and supporting our troops. You can find us at 4701 East Gila Ridge Road, right off the interstate.
So when old dependable is not so dependable, come see my family at Team Ramco Transmission.
You can find us on Gila Ridge between Araby and 3E. So come in or give us a call, 928-344-5360.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you on Monday morning, 6:48 here in studio. Mel's with me.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk a little bit about the vaccine mandate, which what a mess. But the presentation from Biden was so
over the top.
Oh, just. I mean, he's become a full-fledged Castro or a dictator or Chavez or something.
You wonder who does his who writes his stuff for him.
Somebody from the CCP. It sounds like it's just terrible. Like, we're getting to the point where show me the papers. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Russ and Mel.
Good morning.
It's been a long time since I've called or even listened. But, hey, wanted to make a comment about that mandate and how they say, well, if you're not going to get the vaccine, you got to be tested once a week.
Or twice a week in some places, yeah.
Yeah, so what I've run into, I manage people, and I've already run into this, and the policy at my job is if you have been exposed or if you're symptomatic, we send you in for testing. And it's got to be a PCR test. So once companies started these policies where you have to get a PCR test, once a week to prove that you're not COVID infected.
Right.
The lag time for the laboratory went from about 3 days to 7 days. So if we bring down this new policy of everybody who doesn't have the vaccine has to get tested, we're talking millions of people. What's that going to do for the laboratories, and how is it going to inundate laboratories, and what's it going to do for the mortality rate of COVID? Because people who actually have COVID aren't going to know it, and their doctors aren't going to know it until weeks after the fact.
You're right, and it's going to break the system. Do you think they care?
I don't think they care. I think this whole thing is political, and I don't know why they're so darn bent on jabbing something in your arm and, telling you what you have to do versus what you want to do or what you think is best for you. Or now they know what's best for your company if you have 100 employees or greater.
Power and control, man.
That's it exactly.
I hope it hits a brick wall in the courts, but, as of late, I don't have a lot of faith in our justice system on many levels.
Correct.
Both civil and criminal.
Hopefully we can get some changes made, but we need to push back hard on this kind of stuff. I appreciate the call.
You guys take care.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Yeah, so mandate thing has just gone crazy. One of the things I read on this mandate came out of a New York hospital where they decided to go to the mandate before Biden's deal, and now they have to put baby deliveries on hold because they don't have enough nurses for the maternity ward. Now, how do you tell a new mom to hold on?
That kid wants out. He's coming out.
I don't think you're going to hold the baby, but obviously that hospital isn't going to be doing them.
Yeah.
You have to go to another hospital. So this is an upstate New York hospital, but they had Lewis County General Hospital. They have to stop deliveries after September 24th because they don't have the staff. And the vaccine was mandated for healthcare workers on August 23rd there. They had 30 workers resigned and 20 of them who held clinical roles like nurses. And there's 464 hospital workers that have been vaccinated, 165 have not. And now it looks like very shortly they're gonna be leaving. And this hospital, they just say it's crazy time, and they emphasized that the hospital will not be shutting down services. It's not just we're going to find other nurses that want to work in this environment. No. Like, where are they coming from?
Yeah, because that's happening not just in that one area. That's happening nationwide.
Yeah,
there have been articles I've read where a number of nurses have around the country have just said no. So,
right. A lot of medical professionals have said no,
yes.
And they're going to hospitals where it doesn't have to be. But now with this mandate from Biden, which I don't even know what kind of mandate it is. I don't think it's not an executive order.
No,
it's something.
He's hoping that the CDC and folks like that will put something out.
But CDC is just, they're strictly an advisory
group, right? Supposed to be.
We've been putting everything into law that happens. All these businesses say, well, we're doing this because the CDC said so. Well, no, they didn't. They recommended maybe.
Yeah.
But, that's become more of a political organization than the Republican or Democrat Party.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's become very much a political organization, not a science. They won't even look at Mel.
But Russ, that's all of these bureaucracy. Look, OPEC, right?
Well, see, the money's controlled by the politicians.
OSHA rather. OSHA and all of these other things that are supposed to be just nonpartisan experts in different fields of study or whatever. But they have become politicized to the point to where you might as well just say they're just another arm of the Democrat Party.
And all the money's approved by the politicians.
Right.
And the money is the deal, and Fauci holds on to the money. And if you don't follow it, then guess what? Where's the grants going to go?
Yeah, exactly.
If somebody publicly comes out and says, I disagree with Fauci, how long do you survive?
Yeah, right.
You don't. You mean you get decredentialed at your hospital?
Yeah.
And you got to follow the protocol that the CDC has, even though it's an advisory. Mm-hmm. And there is no more, at least on COVID, where doctors can use any medication that's in the inventory.
Yeah.
Can't use any medication in the inventory for COVID.
No, not anymore. You got to only those that we approve of, right?
But hydroxychloroquine was designed to be a malaria drug, and it is a malaria drug. Lupus patients use it every day. If they treated lupus like COVID, they'd say, nope, you can't use hydroxychloroquine; it'll kill you.
Yeah.
Well, they never said that. Even during if you use it for COVID, it'll kill you. They still didn't tell the lupus patients. Yeah. Lupus patients, they says they keep taking it.
Yeah.
You're fine. It's only going to kill COVID patients.
Yes.
Which was ridiculous. It was based on no science, but that was just to scare people and to get them to support the vaccine,
Whatever
I
they want,
assume.
sure.
You know, what else could it have been, Mel?
That's right. That's right.
They said it's going to cause a heart condition. They outlawed it. And then 2 days before, like November 1st, they said, never mind, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right before the election. So it's all become political, unfortunately. We need to get the politics out of this.
Lots of luck.
And science needs to go back to where they can talk about science.
Science. Well, that's it. And nobody knows what science is anymore.
So that
Because
some
there's
doctor,
so many different answers coming out of them.
some doctor can stand up and say, I disagree with that because of this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that now. Yeah. You're going to lose your credentials like the CCP right now.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you fight the state? You won't take your credentials and you're gone.
Yep.
Good luck getting a job.
Yep.
So yes, a lot of scientists are just shutting their mouths, falling in line. You see, and I know that Edward's been answering me on the mandate because it's an OSHA rule is where it came from. I knew it was a rule, but I didn't know where it came from. OSHA.
Yeah.
So the ones that say you have to have a toilet seat with a separator in the middle, you can't have a round toilet seat, are the same ones that are saying COVID shots required. So I don't trust them on the toilet seat, let alone this one. It's definitely a safety issue, not a law. Jackie's Hospital is down to only 71% of normal staffing due to mandates. And that's...
I don't see it getting any better either.
You're not reading about it in the front pages?
No.
You're not reading about the hospitals are getting hurt?
No, they don't, of course not, because putting that out is going to, the people are going to start wondering, what's going to happen if I'm in an automobile accident, for example.
Yeah.
Who's going to be there to take care of me? Or who's going to be there to deliver the babies back in that one municipality just talking about?
Has OSHA ever required a medical procedure before?
Not
like
that I
you
know
must
of.
have a medical procedure?
Not that I know of.
I'd never heard of that.
I don't recall.
Obviously, that's an end around to legislation.
Yeah.
It's an end around to an executive order, which they can't do. It's an end around, like, what can we do? What bureaucracy can we grab to fulfill our political dreams?
That will give us the answer we want. That's right.
Right. We're gonna make that stuff happen. As far as the mandate, no matter what is done, somebody will complain. Well, correct.
Yep.
Any mandate should not be a mandate.
That's why they call it a mandate.
Right. Right or left, don't trust either side. Well, I don't know if it's about right or left as much as, I get really nervous when they're short circuiting.
It's all power.
The procedures and working on the power.
It's all about power.
And I think what the right is saying, Mel, is it's between you and your doctor.
Yeah.
And the left is saying it's between you and your politician.
Well, the right is starting to say it's between you and your doctor, so long as your doctor agrees with us.
I don't think the right's saying that. I think the right's.
The left is.
The left is.
The left is saying
yeah.
Between you and your doctor, so long as your doctor agrees with us, fine and dandy.
But I think the conservatives were like, everything's on the table. If you want to take hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin, that's between you and your doctor.
Right.
And Biden says it's between you and me. I'm Biden, and you will take Z.
You will take it because
you will take Z vaccine, and you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm just shocked still that there's any kind of acceptance at all of any of that. I don't think there should be any acceptance of that. I don't care who's up there.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be an acceptance of that.
No.
Well, we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to take a break. And when we get back, it's going to be George.
All right.
George and Kay out of California. We'll be right back. AM 560, KBLU.
Listen.
From the 1 hour air conditioning and heating studio, this is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.
Secretary of State has some explaining to do. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Anthony Blinken will be questioned in Congress the next 2 days about Afghanistan.
Why he left American citizens behind.
Michael McCall is the lead Republican on the House Foreign Affairs Committee and tells Fox he'll also ask Blinken.
Why are interpreters who put their lives on the lines and fought with our special forces, why were they left behind? They're being executed.
Blinken may also be questioned about U.S. aid to now Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. Fox's Simon Owen is on this live.
Dave, the American ambassador to the UN says the U.S. will donate nearly $64 million in humanitarian aid for Afghanistan.
Millions of Afghans are relying on our support to survive.
Linda Thomas Greenfield says the money will help protect women, girls, and minorities. She also highlighted food shortages.
A drought is taking hold of the nation, and a harsh winter approaches.
The UN is holding a fundraiser today while also accusing Afghanistan's new Taliban rulers of reprisal killings and broken promises on the treatment of women. Dave?
Simon, kids are back in class this morning in the nation's largest school district, New York City, where enforcement also starts today on the order for anyone who dines out or goes to gyms or theaters or other indoor places to show proof of a COVID vaccine. President Biden's headed west, where he will try to help a California Democrat keep his job.
The reason Gavin Newsom needs him is because he's done a lousy job as governor.
Larry Elder is the leading Republican in the effort to fire Governor Newsom in tomorrow's recall election. First stop for the president, Idaho, to get an update on destructive wildfires scorching the west. A tropical storm is close to the Texas Gulf Coast, moving up from Mexico.
We're expecting 8 to 16 inches of rain over portions of southeastern Texas, with isolated totals up to 20 inches through the middle of the week.
Eric Blake at the National Hurricane Center. America's listening to Fox News.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers built for business with Windows 10 Pro. Plus, enjoy special pricing on Dell docks, monitors, servers, and more, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. Succeed anywhere with Windows 10 Pro. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast, free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Warner Brothers Pictures presents Cry Macho from legendary director Clint Eastwood. Comes a story of being lost and found. Eastwood returns as Mike Milo, a one-time rodeo star who takes a job from an ex-boss to bring back the man's son from Mexico. The unlikely pair face a challenging journey, and the only road home is through redemption. See it in theaters and on HBO Max for 31 days this Friday. Rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for kids under...
YumaDailyNews.com on News Talk 560 KBLU is brought to you by Half Off Yuma. Get our half off deals right now. Go to KBLUAM.com and click on Yuma Half Off for this week's savings.
Here's the news in 60 seconds.
YumaDailyNews.com. You can celebrate Mexican Independence Day at the Main Library on Wednesday, September 15th. The library will hold a discussion on the prickly pear cactus and how it became an icon of Mexican culture. More info later this morning at YumaDailyNews.com. Yuma police are investigating the death of a 22-year-old man who suffered from a gunshot wound. An older guy had been located at the scene and was taken into custody. Police are actively investigating. And Yuma County sheriffs have responded to a fatality over the weekend between a Dodge Ram and a Toyota Corolla. The driver of the Corolla and a teenager were both killed. The victims are from Lake Havasu. The driver and occupants of the Dodge Ram were transported to an area hospital. And the school district in Yuma has started a new food program. See what it entails on our website. Make sure to follow Yuma Daily News on Facebook for local and national stories as they become available. For now, that's the news. I'm Andrew Caravella.
Are you struggling to find quality employees? Tired of placing the same old Sunday classifieds or getting lost in the online job boards and getting the same results? Then you need to call us today at 344-4980 and put radio to work for you. It's fast. Place an ad today and have it on air tomorrow. Whether you're looking for hourly workers or to fill highly specified job descriptions, placing an ad on radio will help you fill these positions quickly. Call 344-4980 today and put radio recruitment to work for you.
Explore the great outdoors this fall with Kokopah Casino. Each drawing, you have the chance to win great outdoor prizes, cash, or rewards play. Drawings every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday through October 29th. On October 30th, one lucky winner will ride away with a 2021 Forest River travel trailer. Earn entries daily by playing your favorite slots and table games with your rewards card. For complete rules, see the Kokopah Casino Rewards Club. Winning is just around the corner at Kokopah Casino and Resort, South Highway 95 in Somerton.
Listen right here on 560 AM KBLU from 8 to 9 a.m. every Monday morning to Life, Death, and the Law, where Sean Garner and Adam Hansen discuss estate planning options. Spend Monday mornings 8 to 9 a.m. with Sean and Adam from Deason, Garner, and Hansen and learn how you can plan your estate using a will or a trust to protect your family and secure your legacy. That's Life, Death, and the Law every Monday morning from 8 to 9, right here on 560 AM KBLU.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. Mel's in studio.
Yes, sir.
And I have George Braun and guest on the line. Good morning, George.
Hey, how are you?
Man, we're doing well,
Good
buddy.
to be on again. My biggest thing in the entire world is, for God's sakes, we're going to have fun for the next several years. And can we pick up the mantle that Rush Limbaugh left behind, which is that we will have a great time.
Yeah.
And we will just laugh at the opposition.
I can't wait to get to that re-education camp with you, and we'll have a great time, buddy.
No, ridicule the other side. It works better than anything in the entire world because of the fact that they hate themselves. Okay, we got you on the air right now, and I hate to bring this up, but you are the leader of the thing against Venice Beach, and they finally went down and fixed it all the other day, and they cleared out all the...
I wouldn't agree with that necessarily. Like, I think Venice is still, like, I've actually left Venice, just like for my own personal safety. And, you know, I have women and families probably calling me daily at this point to let me know that, you know, the news keeps saying that the place is clean, that, you know, everyone's sort of done their bit and chipped in and started to save the community. But it's just like, that's not the case at all. It's still, you know, it's still pretty dangerous down there. And that's, you know, I think it's good to kind of have that kind of ridicule, and we laugh about the re-education camps. Not sure how funny it's going to be in a year's time, but I got to laugh at just the ignorance, really, of it's like people on the left who tend to try and run California but have just sort of run it into the ground. And, you know, it's sort of laughable that anyone would support them. I mean, I've got friends who walk outside of their door on, you know, these $1 million plus properties every day, and they find bodies strewn out, and they're like, well, at least we don't have Trump in office. And I'm just like, really?
No, you don't understand. One of the things that somebody came out was there was more homeless people overdosing in L.A. and San Francisco than died from COVID. And
Absolutely.
But the thing that comes out of the whole thing in the entire world is you just look up in the middle of this whole thing and go, you can't let people live this way. But every single thing that you hear about for, you know, Biden stood up the other day and said, we're going to, anybody under 100, you know, more than 100 people and everything else. But he immediately, the post office, no. Homeless, no. The illegal aliens, no.
But Kay better get her jab. I guarantee you. I'm going to make sure.
Exactly, but everybody else is out of the whole thing, and everything else, the White House, the Capitol, everything else in the media all the way through this, and you just stand up in the middle of this whole thing, and I stand there, and there's somebody like you. Okay, my great-grandmother was one of the founders of Venice Beach, California, and I don't know if you ever remember the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Mm-hmm.
They own the travel agency, they own the restaurant, they own the coin laundry, they own the dry cleaner, they own everything. Okay, but I'm standing there and I'm going, my great grandmother and my great grandfather would be just appalled because what's his name? The guy from the movie. What was it called? The
I don't know, George.
Yeah.
Well, no, the Australian guy.
Yeah, it's that kind of horror though that's like the real reason why Gavin Newsom is being recalled. I mean, that's what the rest of America is kind of being shielded from in the news media, is the fact that, real people, real hardworking Americans have lost everything under his leadership. And I think it's so funny that they're sending in, Kamala Harris. We're seeing these advertisements to support Newsom from, Barack Obama. And, Newsom actually represents someone, like, if he survives this recall, he could potentially win out in the primaries against Kamala Harris in 2024. I mean,
you think so?
I don't. Oh, yeah. Like, that's one of the biggest things that I hear from my kind of political insiders. I just started doing some work with the Daily Caller. I obviously have my own show, K Saves the USA, which is a podcast. But the number of people who call me and say they kind of, like, it's like a win-lose situation either way you look at it. Like, if Gavin Newsom gets recalled, huge loss for the party. California will turn red. I've been saying this for years. If he wins, like, it's like Kamala who? Like, she's going to disappear off the face of the earth come 2024. She's going to be quietly sort of sidelined and, disappear out into the ether because she could win anything in California. Like, Californians hate her.
Right.
And so it's just so fascinating and funny to me that, anyone would support Gavin Newsom. Anyone who lives in California would support Gavin Newsom, given what he has allowed to happen to the state, what he's allowed his DAs to do. So it's fascinating and funny to me that anyone would support Gavin Newsom. I'm getting terrible feedback on my end. Given what he has allowed to happen, it's just laughable to me. The whole thing.
We're getting some feedback.
I mean, it's
Hey, George, turn off your radio.
Yeah.
Hey, but you think Gavin Newsom's going to win? Or I mean, I keep seeing the polls, 65% Gavin. Where do they find these people, or is this voter fraud? What's going on there?
Oh, I mean, there's definitely going to be a certain amount of voter fraud. Like, I'm not a citizen in this country. Like, I'm here as a legal, very legal alien. And I received a ballot in 2020. Like, I mean, it's just rife. And my hypothesis is that they're going to bus homeless people to the polls. The homeless people will get sort of a $5, $10 gift card when they go in and vote. They'll see the name of the person on the side of the bus who bussed them there and think, oh, I'll vote for that guy. And, it's just gonna further perpetuate that kind of cycle of mental health decline and drug addiction that is so normalized now within the homeless communities of California,
but
whether
Kay,
it's in the cities or the desert.
Kay, it sounds like that it's been embraced. You're saying that the people that do own the homes, that do have the finances and the ability to live in California, are embracing it as better than having a Republican. And we may have homeless and crime and drug addiction, but they're okay with it.
I wouldn't say they're okay with it. I would say that it's kind of an even split. Those who aren't against what's happening in California in terms of the homeless crisis, in terms of the criminal crisis, typically aren't victims yet of the crisis. They haven't had their homes broken into. They haven't been assaulted in the middle of the street. They haven't, had to step over dead bodies as they walk their kids to school. And it's predominantly, and this isn't me just, I love men, but it's mostly men, I will say, who are really supportive of Gavin Newsom, probably because they want to, emulate his lifestyle. I mean, let's be honest. It sounds glorious.
Kay, I hate to bring this up, but if you don't remember, Daryl Issa was the one who, because he invented the car alarm. Anyway, but he paid for the recall on Gray Davis. And I remember everybody looking up in the middle of the whole thing. They said, there's no way you will recall a governor. And I said, you don't understand. California has the Partridge family, but we also have the Manson family. You can go on the wrong side on you that quick. And what you're watching right now is the Democrats, the independents, are so angry because their kids can't go to school, and their kids have to walk through the filth. And that's what you're seeing right now is the other side going through this. And it's only because of the fact of people like you who stood up and said, I'm not going to live this way anymore. Tell me about that.
I mean, here's the thing, right? California is the most anti-woman, anti-elderly, anti-minority state in the nation. And that's predominantly to do with the way that the legislation is written. You know, I don't know if you guys know this, but hate crimes, domestic abuse, terrorism threats, most forms of human trafficking and child abuse, elder abuse, they're all considered non-violent under California state law. And so, well, a lot of people, when they're living in, you know, their mansions, who, you know, they give their nannies the keys to the Rolls Royce to drive their children to the private school that's completely gated and secure. What they don't see is how this legislation impacts predominantly minorities and working class blue collar communities that support California. And so, you know, I really saw my job when I first started with my original radio show that used to be on KABC out of Los Angeles. Now I do it as a daily podcast. What we and my former co-host really started to become aware of was how it's not just like the silent majority who can't stand Gavin Newsom and his completely ignorant and tyrannical reign of California or over California, but it's predominantly like working class mothers who have to deal with this. You know, it's real people, the salt of the earth people who provide for their families, working 3 or 4 jobs, who, you know, were impacted by the lockdowns. And, you know, whilst they were on lockdown, they weren't allowed to, you know, even call the police when, you know, like they had God, anyway, it's supposed to be a happy show. I want to keep it happy. I want to keep it upbeat. Let's laugh at the liberals for allowing this to happen. But it really is just such a multifaceted crisis. And, you know, the first step to solving it, whether it is homelessness, whether it is this kind of overreach by the government when it comes to lockdowns.
No, but Kay, you stand up in the middle of this whole thing like everybody else and say, we can go forward. This is not how we should live. So,
yeah, and the recall is really the first step in that.
But it doesn't look like it's going to work. But I think it did some awareness anyway. And my fact checker, Kay, has been working on this, and he says you're wrong. It is. Oh yeah. You're going to wake up to that this morning. But he says it's females that are voting to not remove Newsom. That's according to some Newsweek magazines and some polls he sent me.
I mean, like, I haven't really, like, I'm a social scientist by trade. Like, after 2020, I thought, okay, well, no one's going to really listen to polls anymore. Actually, I thought that after 2016. Like, I don't trust polls. When was the last time you guys were polled?
Never. But
exactly.
But they don't want to poll me. But I mean, I know you're getting your message directly from the streets and from the people you talk to, which I think is valuable. But that's what Newsweek's, and I don't know if Newsweek and all are doing the polls in order to push a direction also. Don't know.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's groupthink, right? Like, that's the kind of ideology of the left, is that, you know, perpetual groupthink. And remember, I moved out here as a lefty, as a socialist. I was like, yeah, let's move to California. It's going to be beautiful and blue. Within about a year, I was like, oh, goodness gracious me, this is not what I had in mind at all. And I went completely the other way. You know, it always used to surprise me that I would, you know, step out of my apartment, step over the bodies, and the only people talking about it were, you know, the likes of Tucker Carlson and what have you. Like, there was no one on the left, in the left-wing media, who really shone a light on what this was, like, truly like. And they still don't. I mean, you know, I think I saw one story from ABC where they decided to report on the fact that one of the encampments in Los Angeles was being run by street gangs being run by the cartel. And that was about it. That's pretty much all I've seen. Everything else is very pro-Democrat. I mean, the LA Times is it's just a joke at this point.
But they're pro the California way. It's Newsom's campaign now is don't make California like Texas. You know, we support women's choice and unless it's vaccine choice. But
yeah, I was going to say.
well, the choice for abortions and stuff like that, because that's about health. But it's ridiculous. They love what they're doing. They're embracing it. Newsom's embracing the policies as they are, not claiming to want to fix anything.
I mean, it's just kind of embarrassing. Like, I think it's so sad that history will remember this moment in time where, yes, okay, Texas passed, the heartbeat law, and I can see why a lot of people in the cities in California might find that offensive. These are also people who have time to sit and talk to pollsters, so, what are they really contributing otherwise? But history is going to look back on this moment, and I think our grandchildren and maybe even our children will look at us and say, how did you allow this to happen? How did you allow these people who say one thing and then so blatantly do the opposite? How did you allow them to stay in power? And most of the people in, where I used to live in Los Angeles, they'll turn around and say, oh, but it was the right thing to do. I wanted to check the blue box and say, oh, I support, the blue side, because the blue side says all the right things. But they've never done the right thing. They've never done the right thing. It's just so laughable.
I like
that. So
that.
don't let America become California.
Correct.
Really.
Hey, George, I'm running out of time, George. You still...
Thank you very much, Kay, for coming on. And after the recall, and I hate to bring this up, but you guys are not looking at the same polls I'm looking at. This is going to be a landslide.
For Newsom?
No, against Newsom.
You think so? I hope you're right, George.
No, the thing is, you don't understand. One of the things is that in order to get Harris in as the political candidate when she runs for president in 2024, they had to get rid of Cuomo and they had to get rid of Newsom.
Oh.
And Cuomo's gone. Newsom's the next one.
We'll see.
Because that's how the cabal works. I don't know if you guys ever watched the show, The Blacklist. But that's how
I'm still watching Leave It to Beaver. I'm not done with that yet.
Oh, that was actually a pretty good thing, and you were pretty rough on the beaver last night.
George,
anyway,
you gotta go, George.
Sorry, gentlemen. It was great to have Kay on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Do you mind coming on again after this is all done? Because more importantly, I want you to talk about what we're doing. Because Paul Hogan from what was the name of the movie? The Australian movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he has been one of the big people to fix this down in Venice, and you're doing a great job. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Yeah. How big's your knife, Kay? I don't know. Take care. See you guys. Bye. I'll be back. AM 560, KBLU.
In today's Ag Business Update from AgNet West, expanding rural healthcare services via USDA's Rural Development Grants. We'll find out more in a report after the break.
AgNet West Radio Network, your trusted agriculture news provider for the state of Arizona, bringing local, statewide, and national headline news right to you on this radio station. Let our team of Danielle Leal,
Budget revisions put surplus to good use for agriculture,
and Brian German,
Salmonella outbreak report points to adjacent land use.
Keep you informed here, weekdays over the radio airways, on our Farm City Newsday podcast, or online at agnetwest.com.
A rural Texas medical clinic used USDA funding to construct a new facility which allowed for the expansion of services to customers and employees. USDA's Rod Bain has more with the Cactus Health Services CEO Luis Villarreal in this report.
Cactus Health Services in rural Texas was outgrowing its leased facility in a non-commercial area. What with service to
all patients in this 2-county wide area, and then we also get patients from all the way up even from the city of Odessa that's an hour and a half away to come see our federally qualified health center.
And CEO Luis Villarreal says that prompted Cactus Health to apply for USDA Rural Development Healthcare related grants.
When we came in here at the beginning of 2019, it was such a joy to walk into this clinic.
A constructed modular building with expanded exam, lab, and intake offices. That in turn led to expanded staff and staff training. Currently, RD is accepting applications for emergency rural health care grants through October 12th. More information is available through state rural development offices or online at www.rd.usda.gov.
Again, that was USDA's Rod Bain reporting, and I'm Danielle Leo reporting for AgNet West Radio Network.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Wall Street posted a down day to end the week, and why September 11th matters to us all today. Those stories next. As you know, my friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He created the best pillow, and Mike created the Giza Dream bed sheets. Mike found the world's best cotton, called Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. Mike's Giza sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. Mike's latest incredible deal is the sale of the year. For a limited time, you will receive 50% off Giza Dream sheets. You'll receive a set for as low as $49.99. Go to mypillow.com, click on the radio listener square, and use promo code Dobbs. There you'll find not only Mike's amazing offer, but also deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the MyPillow mattress topper and so much more. Call 1-800-977-9152. Use the promo code Dobbs. Go to mypillow.com. Make sure you use the promo code Dobbs. On Wall Street, stocks closed lower today. The Dow Jones Industrials lost 271 points. Instead of business as usual today, I'd like to share a personal note on tomorrow's 20th anniversary of the tragic September 11th attacks. The Islamist radicals who crashed passenger aircraft into the World Trade Center and other targets was a wake-up call that Americans can never take freedom for granted. But as we pause tomorrow to remember that awful day, it is important that we recognize many of us are again taking our freedoms for granted. This time, our freedoms are under attack from within. Unprecedented and unconstitutional mandates and fiats under the guise of a public health emergency and a rescission of border security and surrender to Afghan terrorists. A surrender that threatens this great nation's values and its future. Please remember. Please join me 3 times each weekday for my updates from the Salem Radio Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
It's another hot, dangerously hot day today. 111 the high. After today, the temperatures start to cool slightly. 109 tomorrow, 107 Wednesday. To detect fever, COVID-19's leading symptom, it's critical to take an accurate temperature reading with the Exergen temporal scanner. It's the only thermometer whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith from the Weather Channel.
Tune in each morning for the Fox News Rundown, brought to you by Yuma International Airport, home to 4 car rental agencies that are open early and close late, giving you more bang for your buck. Yuma International Airport, we've got your travel covered.
Hi, we're big and rich. Join us and our friends Aaron Lewis and Eddie Montgomery Gentry for a one-night kick-ass concert to salute the American veterans on Saturday, November 6th at the Action Pavilion.
We're going to pack the place and show our veterans that we stand with them. We'll see you there. God bless.
Love you big time. See you soon. Yeah!
This is Dr. Bob Branch with the Power Fives, and we are proud to present you with the Salute to American Veterans. Join Big and Rich, Aaron Lewis, and Eddie Montgomery of Montgomery Gentry for a one-night kick-ass concert to salute American veterans and first responders. Saturday, November 6th at the Action Pavilion. Big and Rich, Aaron Lewis, and Eddie Montgomery will be joined by CMA artist Ashley Wineland and political speakers. Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster.com.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody.
The Border Report brought to you by RV World, located on Gila Ridge Road. Exit Interstate 8 on Araby Road, then head west on Gila Ridge about a quarter mile. RV World, Yuma's premier recreational vehicle dealer since 1991, offering a large selection of new and used RVs. Here are the latest wait times for passenger vehicles in the standard lanes at our selected ports of entry. Longest waits are Calexico West, an hour and a half with 6 lanes open, and San Luis, an hour and a half with 2 lanes open. It's 20 minutes with 2 lanes open at Algodones, 30 minutes and 2 lanes open at Calexico East. Get updated border reports anytime at yumadailynews.com.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. Mel's in studio.
Yes,
That's Kay that was on. Kay and Carol out of L.A. Actually, a lot of fun to listen to them, and they're out in the streets talking to people and stuff, and they do a podcast, so very worthwhile. It's good to hear her voice again, and I don't know where Carol is today, but Kay was enough for today, and we'll hopefully talk to her more. And thanks to George for bringing that to us. The two supermarket chains, Mel, are warning us. What do you think the supermarket chains will be warning us about, Mel? Supermarket chain says, hey, I got a warning. Inflation.
Oh.
Inflation.
They're a little late.
Well, yeah, they're not.
As far as I'm concerned, they're a little late.
I don't think you're right. They did not hit it at the very beginning, but they're letting us know it's not slowing down, Mel. It's coming, and they're expecting that within the consumer price index, the components for food at home has risen 6 months in a row and is now 2.6% this year. And they think it's going to be another 2 to 3% before the end of the year, which is getting pretty serious. Now, beef, pork, and poultry have been big increasers. Beef is up 14%. Pork is up. Poultry's up 6%, and pork is up 12%. But this is some of the highest increases in decades. I haven't seen this kind of inflation stuff in decades, which is going to take a big chunk out of your paycheck. You think like 10%, 14%. Edward had sent me some inflation stuff just now. And some of the prices, like natural gas has doubled from a year ago. I didn't realize it had doubled. Of course, gasoline is up like 40%.
Yep. Gasoline's up a bunch.
Yeah. But according to Edward here, and he's pointing out something I don't think most people think about, it's suppressing the middle class and working class and the working poor more than anybody. Because when you start doing that, he said the average cost burden increased to a family of 4 making $55,000 a year, $6,250. That's additional cost.
Yes.
Above what you've been spending, and those things are big. The Biden administration is redefining the term inflation. Isn't that nice? We're going to redefine it because we need better numbers.
That's right. Yeah, the numbers we have now are too
they want to remove
too dangerous.
They only want to remove some minor issues that don't affect our lives every day, like food, fuel, clothing, and vehicles. Well, those are the ones we should be keen on, not the ones we should ignore. What are we going to use inflation? The ones that we don't buy, the stuff that we're not buying.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all buying food and fuel and clothing, hope so, and vehicles. So if we eliminate those from the inflation, according to this article that Edward is sharing with me, the inflation rate today is 5.4%, which is highest numbers it's been in decades.
Yeah.
It would drop below 2% if the Bidens could refigure what goes in. Of course, in reality, we're getting affected like it's 5%, but we're just going to feel good to 2% if he readjusts.
Well,
when is the political gamemanship going to stop?
If you consider the things that are absolutely necessary, food and fuel and stuff like that, the inflation rate is probably a good deal higher than 5%.
Well, yeah, if you just include those, because obviously when you start looking at the food has been higher than 5 by itself, and the fuel's been higher than 5.
5 by itself. I mean,
Yeah, those have really killed it. So, yeah, you're right. The New Yorkers are reacting to Biden's vaccine mandate. Now, Mel, you're from New York. What do you think the average? What do you think? What do you think the average New Yorker is going to say about the mandate? They're going to say, "Good for you, Joe."
What they're going to say is something that I probably should not say on the radio. If you want to be on the radio
That's
tomorrow,
not what my article says. That's not what my article says. They cleaned it up. But and this is anecdotal, and this is man and woman in the street type stuff. But I was surprised that they found anybody that says I agree with the mandate. But that's what this says in a lot of them. I agree with the mandate. I think in order to get back to anywhere near normal, we need a vaccine mandate in place. And I guess that's what the press has been hammering, Mel. That's what they've been saying constantly. You know, the advertisement. There has been more advertisement coming from the U.S. government to force us to get vaccinated than any Super Bowl commercials or whatever.
Oh yeah,
you know, we're spending probably more money on that than we are on actually the vaccine. Is to tell people you have to do it. But look what it's done. So many people out there are for it. The rule will likely make millions of workers, and will also levy substantial fines up to $14,000 per infraction against companies that refuse to comply. Do you know that? $14,000 per infraction. I mean, they are hammering this like huge. I mean, illegal drugs are okay. Coming in the country illegally is okay.
And the way the president is putting it out about what a selfish bastard you are if you don't do what he wants. I mean,
right. Unless you work for the post office, you get a reprieve on the post office. Unless you're an illegal alien coming into the country, you're okay. You know, a lot of countries out there that have clamped down, which I think too much, but they clamp down. Nobody enters their border, illegal or legal. Nobody enters their border without a test. Mm-hmm. We just don't give a crap.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll move you all over the country and move you everywhere, infected or not.
Especially if you're an illegal.
Yes, if you're an illegal. But then if you live here, you have a birth certificate that says United States citizen, and
that doesn't mean much anymore.
Well, it means you're going to be punished.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Another lady says you got to follow the law, I guess. Mayor de Blasio, he was requiring New York employees to be vaccinated or tested once a week. And see, that's the punishment.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get vaccinated, you got to get tested once or twice a week. And that test they do, Mel, that is not a COVID-19 test. That is a coronavirus test. So whether you got a cold or the flu or a COVID, it's all going to test positive. So
they're also saying you got to pay for the test yourself.
In some cases, yes. Some of those hospitals, I don't know if that's universal, but you're right. I've read a lot of that.
Yeah.
Where that punishment is you got to pay for the test yourself. Company's not going to pay for it.
Yeah. Anything we can do to push you
punishment.
over you over the cliff.
Wear a mask, can't talk to your friends.
That's right.
You know,
right. Whatever we can do to push you over that cliff, we're going to push.
Mandatory, fine you, shame you. You know, at the same time we're running anti-bullying commercials. We're going to bully the unvaccinated. You know, make them, celebrate those that. Wow. I hate to tell you this, but Edward just did another fact check, and in the fact check, he said Mel is correct.
Uh-oh.
See, I don't even want to read it now. I don't even care at this point. Inflation for just fuel was 23% in July, and I think we all knew that.
Yeah.
I thought it was more like 40%. Well, just in July, it was 23%.
Yeah.
But I know it was like right around $2, and now it's like $3.20.
Yeah. See, the things it's the things that we need is where it's really noticeable, and that's what they're trying to ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're trying. The administration trying to ignore that. Say, oh, it's not that bad. Well, the hell it isn't.
Biden has attacked fuel. Biden has attacked it. He shut down the Keystone. He shut down fracking.
He's done everything he could to make it worse.
We went from independence to dependent.
Yep.
And then he went and begged OPEC to send more oil because it's looking bad to have big increases.
Yeah.
I don't know if they listened to him or not.
I don't think they have.
I don't. Well, I looked at the pumps, and I would say they have not.
Looking at what I'm paying for gas. Of course, fortunately, I don't have to buy that often.
Yeah.
A plug for one of our sponsors, but my gas mileage is outstanding.
Wait a minute. He said to me, a fake passport, driver's license, and ID cards, and more. It just shows me a website that does those. Of course, it's all for novelty. It's not for real.
Uh-huh.
You don't get in trouble for that, but you try to fake You fake one of those CDC cards that says you've had the vaccine,
and you're going to jail.
Oh
boy.
my gosh! Yeah, you're going to get.
Was it $25,000 fine or something?
I don't remember what it is, but it's potential jail time, and it's a big fine. And of course, they caught that lady in Hawaii because she misspelled one of the drugs.
Yeah.
And one of them they caught in Hawaii because they had the kids vaccinated with a passport, but the kids were too young to be vaccinated. Yeah. So they said, these are fakes. So the fake thing is they're going after it with a vengeance, trying to make examples of people that you fake a thing. And all it is, it's just a government form that you put on your printer and run off the printer.
Yeah.
Which is not illegal, I don't think, because they put those out generally. You can go to any government website and print forms to fill out.
Yep.
But I don't know if you can print that one. I don't know. I haven't tried. But I know there's a lot of forms I print out all the time for tax forms and all kinds of
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
But filling them out apparently is where you got to get into trouble.
Yeah.
You put Dr. Mel on it. Yeah, I gave him a shot. Dr. Mel.
There's Jack Daniels.
Yeah. and the identification code for it is none of your business. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a surefire way. OPEC denied Biden's request to increase and actually cut production. Yeah, stop being an American.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that shows at the pump, doesn't it, Mel?
It does. And it's going to show more.
Yeah.
It's going to show more and more as time goes by. It's
It's not going down.
He's not done anything to make the situation better. So
let's talk about ethics for a minute. Can we change to ethics when we talk so much about not ethics?
Sure.
Ethics professor in Canada delivered her last lesson, and it's been taken off of YouTube, by the way.
Okay.
She teaches it's a Julie Ponis, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. She's out of Ontario, Huron University College. Today I'm going to teach you a short lesson on a university-accepted ethics of coercing people into medical procedures. I'll be the example. My employer has just mandated that I must get a vaccine for COVID-19. If I want to keep working at my job as a professor, I have to take this vaccine. Here's my conundrum. My school employs me to be an authority on the subject of ethics. I hold a PhD in ethics and ancient philosophy, and I'm here to tell you it's ethnically wrong to coerce someone to take a vaccine. If it happens to you, if you don't have to do it, if you don't want a COVID vaccine, don't take one. End of discussion. You don't have to do it. Oh, wait a minute. But that's not the approach of the University of Western Ontario, which has suddenly required that I be vaccinated immediately or not report for work. I am facing imminent dismissal after 20 years on the job. I'm entitled to make choices about what does or doesn't enter my body regardless of my reasoning. This is my first and potentially my last lesson of the year. In the spirit of Socrates, who was executed for asking questions, this lesson will consist of only one question. When a person has done the same job to the satisfaction of her employer for 20 years, is it right or is it wrong to suddenly demand that they submit to an unnecessary medical procedure in order to keep their job? The employee is not allowed to ask questions. She may only submit to the procedure or be fired. To my first-year students, is this right or is this wrong?
And that was her last.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, they found an Arthur Kaplan. He's the founding director of the Division of the Medical Ethics at New York University. He told the Toronto Star, I think she is flat out wrong, and it's not just a difference in opinion about morals. Some of her facts are just incorrect. She's impugning on vaccine, calling it experimental. Those are just not true assertions. So he answered a question not really asked. She was saying, is it ethical to force me? Yeah. He's saying it's not fair. She says experimental. Which it is experimental, even though the FDA approved it in 10 weeks.
Well, whether it's experimental or not isn't the question. That
was never the question.
The question is it ethical to sit there and to make it mandatory?
Was it ethical to you to?
Was it ethical? Was it ethical for her to be punished because of her stance? Basically, and no, it is not. But
the doctor from Toronto emailed her department head on Tuesday to inform him that she would not get the COVID-19 vaccine not wear a face mask while teaching, or submit to coronavirus testing. It was within, I think, an hour and was within half an hour of sending that email that I received an email from my dean stating I would be dismissed and put on temporary paid leave. So she's no longer there. She's not seeking for an exception either. Like they did have exceptions like for health reasons or for spiritual reasons or something. I want to be very clear in rejecting it in principle. I don't think we ever should have been in the place where we're looking at the situation of mandates. So I'm not seeking an exception to one. I'm challenging the very foundation of the idea.
The idea of a mandate is wrong, and she's right.
Julie's my hero.
Yes.
She's unemployed, so she's looking for a job. Yeah. I hope she finds one. We'll be back. AM 560.
Time for some smart saving. Put money aside, not your child's future education.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. The sooner you start an AZ 529 education savings plan, the more money you'll have when your little one graduates high school. Invest just $15 a month and you could have thousands of dollars saved for their education needs. Go to az529.gov so when it's time to achieve their dreams, they can.
Now that's smart saving.
Labor is a two-way street. First, it's earned. Second, it's paid. In the air conditioning business, it just went up 10% again. I tell my techs, let homeowners know about the York factory parts and labor warranties. An out-of-warranty AC part costs many times more than yesterday's AC parts did. Ask your AC tech about our York extended factory labor warranties.
Give Air Central a call or just log on to azuma.com.
Explore the great outdoors this fall with Cocopah Casino. Each drawing, you have the chance to win great outdoor prizes, cash, or rewards play. Drawings every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday through October 29th. On October 30th, one lucky winner will ride away with a 2021 Forest River travel trailer. Earn entries daily by playing your favorite slots and table games with your rewards card. For complete rules, see the Cocopah Casino Rewards Club. Winning is just around the corner at Cocopah Casino and Resort, South Highway 95 in Somerton.
Get your local news from a new local news source, YumaDailyNews.com. Now online at everyday at YumaDailyNews.com. We are the local news source focused on Greater Yuma and what's happening in your city, in your community, and your neighborhood. We're reporting on what is important in your universe. A new news source for all of Greater Yuma. Now online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year at YumaDailyNews.com. Find us online at YumaDailyNews.com right now.
The Border Report brought to you by RV World, located on Gila Ridge Road. Exit Interstate 8 on Araby Road, then head west on Gila Ridge about a quarter mile. RV World, Yuma's premier recreational vehicle dealer since 1991, offering a large selection of new and used RVs. Here are the latest wait times for passenger vehicles in the standard lanes at our selected ports of entry. Longest waits are Calexico West, an hour and a half with 6 lanes open, and San Luis, an hour and a half with 2 lanes open. It's 20 minutes with 2 lanes open at Algodones, 30 minutes and 2 lanes open at Calexico East. Get updated border reports anytime at YumaDailyNews.com.
Do you have slips, drips, or footing shifts? Come see my dad, Matt, at Team Ramco Transmission.
We have been a family-owned and operated business for over 25 years. We believe in honesty, professionalism, and supporting our troops. You can find us at 4701 East Gila Ridge Road, right off the interstate.
So when old dependable is not so dependable, come see my family at Team Ramco Transmission.
You can find us on Gila Ridge between Araby and 3E. So come in or give us a call, 928-344-5360.
You made it right.
AM 560, KBLU. Russ Clark with you. Hyundai of Yuma. I got to mention them. They're advertisers on the show. Veteran-owned business out there on 32nd Street. Go take a test drive. Get in one of those cars that has America's best warranty. 5 years, 60,000 miles, 10 years, 100 on the drivetrain. And that's for Kia, Genesis, all sister companies. And J.D. Powers rates them as the cars with the least problems. Yeah, going back. For any corrections, whatever. But still got to get behind the wheel, see if it's one you like. And so far, I haven't found anything disagreeable. Mel's with me.
Yep.
Yeah, we were listening a little bit of that. Thanks to Edward. He sent me a copy. Can't get that on YouTube from that professor that gave that sobering lecture on used her as an example. She was fired, according to that. But I read with pay on leave. That doesn't last very long, I wouldn't imagine. No. They're not going to pay you for long. So you got to appreciate the fact that she stood up for her ethics, right? But
unlike Joy Behar.
well, she just comes out and says she lies.
Yeah, that's true.
She says, I'll apologize,
Yeah.
even if I don't
Even
believe
if I
it,
don't-
just to keep
even
my
if I
job.
don't mean it, yeah.
Yeah, she comes out and says that just openly.
She says that she lies and she has no ethics.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't really care about it. She, in fact, said that during an interview. She'll apologize even if she doesn't mean a word of it.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's a great lady to work around, wouldn't it be? Yeah. Like, hey, Joey, I mean, confessed liar. Joey Behar.
She's one of those situations where you see her walking down the street, you head over to the other side of the street. Get away.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like it at all. A lot of stories here about more of the vaccine stuff, but let me grab this one. Mark Fincham, right here in Arizona, Representative Mark Fincham. He is running for the, what's he running for? Arizona Secretary of State. I knew it was one of the top jobs. Secretary of State. Trump just decided that he's going to support him. At least that's what the story says. He's expected to endorse him at this point. Well, good for Mark. That's a heck of an endorsement.
Yep.
That's better than having a Kamala Harris endorsement.
I would think
now,
so.
that's my opinion. You may disagree.
I agree with that, but then again, who knows?
I think it's still a hot ticket. In fact, I think the left understands it's a hot ticket. They do all they can to discredit it, to diminish.
Oh yeah.
Those kind of things. That the MAGA is a terrorist organization.
They're still spending half their time attacking Trump. I mean,
yes.
Probably more than half their time.
And he's been doing a lot more appearances and doing a lot more engagements. I mean, he's really spooling it up.
He's having his rallies around here and there pretty regularly.
At the same time, they're trying all they can to attack Trump. And really, everything they claimed he was, that he was dictating and all that, it's Joe Biden that's been dictating. It's Joe Biden that has been forcing. Never was Trump.
Oh, and the other thing, Trump, he said, "I'm going to do A,"
and he did it,
and he did A.
Joe lied to us.
Well, he's been lying for 40-something years in the Congress. I mean,
yeah. In fact, he was asked during the election about mandating the vaccine. He said no. Yeah. Guess what he just did?
Yes. Yeah.
And there's no hesitation about it. In fact, he's pretty aggressive and attacking the anti-vaxxers, as they call them.
Oh yeah.
Shaming, belittling, and forcing, my body, my choice.
Right.
Doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
Unless it's an abortion.
Unless you want to kill a baby.
Yeah, you're killing babies, okay. And then it's the baby's body.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
College students were chanting at the football games. I guess there's a football's been breaking out now, and the chant was F Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I don't approve. But it happened. What college? That was at Virginia Tech. The chain broke out at Coastal Carolina University, Virginia Tech, Auburn University, and Texas A&M. I guess more than one, Mel. Maybe it's a new college rally.
Yeah. Yes. I hadn't heard that. I haven't watched football, so.
You like college ball, too.
I do. College football, I do, generally.
Donald Trump Jr. predicted the trend will continue. That'll get you kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah.
He said the Biden presidency has gotten so bad that the media can't cover for him anymore.
That's true.
Maybe it is.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
I mean,
little by little, it is.
There have been some criticisms from CNN and NBC. Nothing
big.
Nothing that approaches what Tucker Carlson puts out. But
no.
But at least they are coming around to the fact that maybe Joe isn't all that he's cracked up to be.
And they've gone after Tucker Carlson. In fact, what was it? Was it one of the intelligence communities that outed him because he made a phone call to Russia trying to get Putin on, and they released his, illegally released his name and stuff on a private conversation, which he never got a hold of Putin, but he was trying to get him on there, and they wanted to label him as a Russia sympathizer.
Yeah.
Wanting
to talk to somebody makes you a sympathizer.
And they turned it over to one of the to the newspapers or something, and a friend of Carlson called him and said, "Hey, buddy, you need to know this. Intelligence community's been unmasking you." And that's terrible. It's a shame. It's shocking. Trump Jr. says, "Imagine the chance will continue." Guess what, folks? It's not getting any better until we say enough is enough.
Yeah.
That Biden just can't get away with it anymore. Trump says, Trump's been getting a little more active.
Yeah.
He was pretty silent. Afghanistan withdrawal opens door to China, Russia, reverse engineering U.S. equipment. I think that's stating the obvious.
Yep.
But no one else is saying it, so it's good that he does. Trump says, "I don't know," because you have people going all over the world and being dropped all over the world right now, and nobody knows who the hell they are, meaning people got out of Afghanistan and everything. He says, "These aren't the interpreters that we took. These were people that rushed into the planes. They were so interested in trying to make it sound like, oh, they're doing a good job. These people, many of them people, are going to be terrorists. They're going to be terrorists. They were very powerful. They were very energetic in getting onto the aircraft." So the Taliban was filtering the people that got into the airport.
Yeah.
So who do you think got onto the planes?
Yeah.
Well,
the folks that the Taliban allowed.
Apparently not that many Afghanis, actually. Very few Americans and not that many Afghanis. They were small percentages. It was other countries and other people that got onto the planes. They didn't vet anybody or anything. They just got on the planes, got the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to go through the vetting, and they're finding that we're terrorists.
Yeah.
But they're not going to catch them all.
No.
They're going to end up being your neighbor.
Yes.
Like a Mr. Rogers neighborhood. Trump says, "Now I'm saying, how can you take this equipment?" And I guarantee, and he's talking about the equipment now, the helicopters and stuff. "I can guarantee that China and Russia already have our Apache helicopters. They're taking them apart to find out exactly how they're made. They're the best in the world by far, and they're taking them apart so they can make the exact same equipment. They're very good at that. It's a disgrace."
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was. It was just so odd that we left it behind. And then the cover-up, Mel, is they abandoned the equipment in July, like all of it.
Yep.
And they told the military, no, don't destroy it, just walk away. Which they had to be told that because that's not their training. Yeah. And then like a month later, they donated it to the Afghan army after the Afghan army was already disbanded.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on paper, they donated it to the Afghans.
Look, everything that they did in Afghanistan was done backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree we should have gotten out. We should get out of there. No two ways about that.
Yeah, but the whole bit about it was Trump's plan's a lie.
No, there was a proper way to do it and a proper order in which to do things. And they did it in exactly the wrong order. I mean,
yep.
The last ones out of there should have been the military.
That's the way it always is.
That's the way it's supposed to be. But,
not this time.
But that's not the way it was done this time.
L.A. Times, the columnist calls Larry Elder a very real threat to communities of color. Of course,
Really?
he's the black man that's a threat.
The fact that he wants to empower them to be their own selves.
That's exactly right.
Is a terrible thing.
How dare you give them empowerment?
How dare you give them the power to make their own decisions?
And this is from the same paper that had called him the black face of white supremacy.
Yes.
Yeah. He says he's refused to talk to nonpartisan, and this is the columnist, Gene Guerrero. He's refused to talk to nonpartisan media outlets and to journalists who are critical of him.
First of all, where are these nonpartisan outlets?
I don't know. And does that mean? And you got to remember, you got a president right now that has a list of the only journalists I'm allowed to talk to.
Yes.
And they're not writing any articles about that.
No.
Of course. He has refused to answer difficult questions. Often uses the few interviews that he does give an opportunity to give a performance on social media, denouncing these journalists playing the victim. He's given more of airtime than Newsom. I mean, as far as the social media and everything he can get on.
Yeah.
Of course, the major players, ABC, NBC, they're not going to play him anyway.
No. He sings the wrong song.
Yeah. So he was on CNN, and I think they all criticized, the other media's criticized CNN for how dare you put Larry Elder on. He's the black face of white supremacy.
Yes.
That's a great title. Mel, thanks for coming in. I'll see
that?
you on Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, we're already running out of time. That happens in here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Life, Death, and the Law coming up next. AM 560, KBLU.